Hey guys, it's Tinker Taylor here today, bringing you back another Pokemon build series video. Today we have Pidgeot, who is the final evolution of the Pidgey line. And when I saw Pidgeot, I kind of thought sort of like an airplane hangar type vibe, I feel. I don't know. There was kind of there was a lot of flying things going on, so I decided to go with, yeah, sort of like a airplane hangar type vibe, and yeah, that's kind of how we end up with what we end up with right now. Also, I am kneeling on the floor, so if I sound like I'm in a little bit of pain, it is because I'm putting all the pressure on my knees right now, because Macy decided to steal my chair, and she's currently asleep in it. I Normally she sleeps on my desk, and if I go out of the room she'll follow me, but sometimes she'll just chill out and snooze on the desk. And if I take a really long time to come back, she will steal my chair. Probably because it's a bit warm. It's a colder day today, so she's probably, yeah, stealing the warmth that was in the chair. Also, I think she just likes it and it's comfy and it reminds her of me, I guess. Yeah, I did take a little bit. I got caught up talking with a roommate for way too long. They were just very excited about something and they wanted to show me, so I was just, yeah, hanging out with them and listening to the things that they wanted to talk about. And yeah, when I came back, little Miss Macy here was asleep on my chair. And I had to wait to start recording because she decided to give herself a little bit of a bath. And I don't know about you guys, it's not the greatest sound to be listening to. So I had to wait for her to finish because I didn't exactly want, yeah, you guys to hear her grooming herself. But yeah, now she is snoozing it up and I am kneeling on the floor, and I have a storage cube thing in here as well that she likes to use as a scratching post, and when she steals my chair, I'll wheel my chair out of the way and grab the storage cube and sit on that. But because I was in a bit of a rush to record this video, I decided, yeah, I'll just quickly kneel on the floor and record this as I am now, but I'm starting to regret it because my knees are really starting to hurt. But yeah, anyway, it's not very usual that she steals the chair. She's probably done it a couple of times in the last 6 months, like maybe, like, yeah, 3 times maybe. And it's usually, again, when I take too long coming back. I'll tell her, oh, I'm just gonna go make breakfast, or I'm just gonna go talk to this roommate, or I'm just gonna go do this or do that or whatever. And if she doesn't leave the room with me, she will steal my chair. I should know that by now. That is definitely just the norm, so I definitely should know that by now, but yeah, I always forget for some reason. So yeah, she is snoozing it up, having the time of her life right now. And maybe even purring. Are you purring? I don't know. She's just a sleepy little baby. She also loves going outside when it's storming and raining, and I've had to dry her a couple of times. I have a towel that I use just to dry her, and she doesn't like being dried when I, like, throw the towel on her and you know how some people, like, dry their hair by just going crazy with it. She doesn't like that. But if I wrap my hand in the towel and start patting her, she'll love that. So yeah, last night she came in soaking wet, and I always make sure to dry her because I don't want her getting sick or anything. It would break my poor little heart if she did. So yeah, I made sure to dry it, but now the towel's on the floor and it's under my feet, but it's dry, thankfully. It's actually quite a cold day. I know it's summer, but it's actually quite a cold day today. And normally when I sit on my chair, I have my slippers under my desk, but I can't put them on right now, so now my feet are cold. But again, I'll do anything for this princess. She has my whole heart and my whole soul, and she can do nothing wrong. But anyway, yeah, probably should talk about the build. The build ended up, I wanted it to be sort of like an airplane hangar where someone lives. So that's kind of what we end up with. It's got the bare necessities basically. It's got um a bedroom up on this little raised area, and then it's got a kitchen uh just down those stairs, and then it has a bathroom and a wardrobe in the little room underneath the bedroom. And I believe I also put a desk in. So yeah, with a computer. So it's got the necessities. I think it might have a bar. I was tossing up back and forward between having a bar and not having a bar. So I do kind of put it in, but I can't remember if I take it out. There is a dining table and space for a plane and a car, but you know, it thinking about it now, let's say you and one other person lives here and you're at home cooking, or they're at home cooking, and the other one of you drives in. Now you've got car fumes all over your food. It's not exactly the best idea, if I'm being perfectly honest with you guys, but I don't know. I thought it was kind of fancy and fun, and maybe someone who's like maybe on the run or something lives here. So I don't know, it was really, really fun. I also don't know how these plants stay alive with absolutely no sunlight and with, yeah, again, the car fumes everywhere and the massive risk of being set on fire by the candles. I still don't trust candles. I had one semi explode on me when I was streaming once. It was not a fun thing. I definitely do not recommend having candles explode. Um, because yeah, it does a lot of damage. Thankfully the monitor that had the candle wax all over it, and I hadn't cleaned it in a long time. I tried bit by bit getting a little bit off here and there. It broke, so now I have no more candle wax. But I have no new monitor, so yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. But um, you know, it's better than having to stare at candle wax every day and remembering the fact that I'm slightly terrified of candles. And I also got 2 candles from Christmas from people who know that I don't like candles. So that was kind of fun. I find it really funny. Like I think I even got bought a candle like a month after it happened, and I think it's kind of funny because people will be like, "Oh, that's like really mean," and like, why would people buy candles for you if you're like scared of them and you don't want to use them? But I find it kind of funny because it's like, I'm never gonna light these things, but they smell nice. And, you know, if they're ever like, "Oh, I bought you that candle, why didn't you light it?" I can be like, "Because last time I lit a candle, it exploded. Oh, but this one won't explode." And then knowing my luck, if I do light it, it will explode. And I don't know. I find that to be kind of funny. Don't worry, if I ever do light a candle, I'm gonna be very, very cautious with it. I never light candles and then leave the room. Um, I never have them near curtains or, you know, anything that could easily be set on fire. I am definitely very careful with it. It just the candle had glitter in it. If you're a candle maker, don't put glitter in it. The glitter catches fire, and then you panic. It didn't explode per se, but um, it went from the wick having the wick having the fire on it, which totally manageable, totally not scary to me, to then having the entire candle being on fire. And thankfully, I had this it's like a melt. You put the melt in the top of it and the candle underneath, and it heats up the I think it's ceramic, and then it melts the melt, and then when you blow the candle out, it re-solidifies the melt until it's all gone. And I think I was out of melts, or I wanted to try out this candle or whatever, and I was like, it's not going to fit in the bottom. I'll put it where the melt goes, because it's pretty stable, it's pretty solid. That's fine. So when it did sort of semi catch fire, it was just in that little ceramic melt thing. And yeah, my first instinct was to pick up the melt thing, which is in the shape of a skull. So my first instinct was to pick up the skull. and I immediately dropped it. I didn't drop it, but like I went to grab it and immediately pulled my hand away because yeah, hot ceramic is hot. So thankfully Onion was there because he could see me panicking, and he's a lot better with situations like that than I. And so he grabbed one of my towels, which was just like an old one that I didn't really use anymore anyway. It was, I think we just moved, so, and we were still in the middle of unpacking, and so yeah, it was sitting out. So he just grabbed that and wrapped it up, put out the fire, wrapped it up, and took it into the sink and turned the sink on, and just left it running until the smoke fully cleared. Like the smoke wasn't bad, but until like fully cleared and there was no more sizzling sounds or anything like that. Yeah, so thankfully Onion was there to fix that. He did get a little bit of wax on his hand and burn himself, and I also burnt myself, so yeah, we didn't have the greatest time with that, but I don't know, having these candles now, knowing that I'm never gonna light them, they all have lids, so I'll just take the lid off and give it a little smell and leave it out, and the room starts to smell a little bit nicer, a little bit fresher. But Macy doesn't really like the smell of one of them. I haven't got her to try the other two yet, but doesn't really like the smell of them, the one that I did have, so I put it away somewhat so that, yeah, she didn't have to smell something she didn't like. And I also don't know if she didn't like it because it made her feel sick, or if she didn't like it because it just smelled weird and that's a personal preference for her, but either way, it doesn't matter to me. I'm happy with putting candles away. So long story short, yeah, no candles for me, thank you. And I think if I'm ever going to sell candles, which I highly doubt, they're going to be candles that every fire department in the world is like, yeah, if you want a candle, get that one. Because I don't want anyone else to have candle incidents. Because it's not fun. It's really, really not fun. But anyway, that's enough of me rambling about that. I go to always talk about the build and then I start rambling about whatever the hell I just started rambling about. Candles. Yeah, the landscaping with this one, I'm kind of not really sure about if I like it or not. Definitely interesting, that's for sure. Again, it's not a Taylor video if I don't complain about landscaping and how I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, it's again very questionable landscaping, and I definitely try and use either base game or the pack of the world that I'm in to try and make it a bit easier for myself. But other times I try and be adventurous and make it up myself, and I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I think the trees really did help because the rocks and the flowers just made me kind of scratch my head a bit, but putting the trees in made me feel like, okay, it's starting to look better. But I really don't know what else to do to fix it. So yeah, if you have any tips or tricks on how to fix this landscaping, please, for the love of everything in this world, I would love to have those tips. I don't even care if it's one tiny little thing like, oh, the flowers you're putting around the rocks, don't do that. Even if it's kind of like an anti-tip. It's not an anti-tip, but it's a tip that's like, you're doing it wrong. I'd rather be told what I'm doing wrong so I can figure out what I'm doing right. But anyway, we are at the end of the video. If you've enjoyed my ramblings, make sure to subscribe, but I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.